Hello everyone, Chris Gildart here. It is the end of Musou May. This is the last video, and I wanted to kind of go out with sort of a bang and a thank you, because this year, just like last year, it's bigger and better than it was before, and that's not just the videos that we've done on the channel and how many videos we've put out, but also the community has been bigger and better than last year. It's been so amazing to see so many new people making Musou May videos. So I wanted to say thank you for that, as well as thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I haven't officially done it here on the channel in a video form. I kind of said, we were getting really close to 1,000, but I never really did a video, and that's because I was preparing really hard for Musou May, and I've been working on it pretty much until this week, which is the last week of Musou May. So I wanted to do something special for my 1,000 subscriber video, and so what I'm going to do as part of the Musou May legacy theme, what better way to celebrate 1,000 subscribers than to take a look at the collection that you see in the background of every single one of my scripted videos. All of that is Koei Tecmo. So unlike Drake, we're gonna start from the top. So let's go. All right, so starting up at the top here, we have my NES and Super Famicom games. We've got a little Hanzo figurine here, protecting the Super Famicom games. This also has my only boxed NES game for Koei Tecmo. It's Ninja Gaiden 2. It's not complete. It just has a poster in there, which I might take a picture of and put it on the screen right now. This is really cool because I already owned the game, and there was this was a full set at a shop, and he just sold me the box and the map, the poster alone, and he said he would sell the cartridge separately. So huge shout out to Gino Games for this. This was awesome. This one right here is also another cool thing in the collection. This is actually a reproduction cart because we actually never got the Samurai Pizza Cats game on NES here in the States or in North America because I'm Canadian. And so when I saw this was actually being sold on a local collector's Facebook page, I was like, I'm buying that. So I think I paid like 20 or 30 bucks for that. So all of these are Japanese titles. I'm not going to take them out because, you've probably seen me drop Hanzo a couple of times here already, but I know for a fact that I have Romance of the Three Kingdoms 3, Liberty and Death, if that's the correct title. I think I have a Nobunaga's Ambition, and I have Inindo as well, or Super Inindo as it's called in Japan. And then this is my only retro complete in-box Koei Tecmo game. It's Nobunaga's Ambition. This is 100% complete. It's not sealed. This is just one of the cases it actually came with. So shout out to Most Wanted Pawn for that. That was really awesome. I think I paid like 20 bucks for that. That was actually a really good deal. Right here we have my original copy of Dynasty Warriors Advance. I'm actually not going to try to pull that out. That is also complete in box. That was my original copy that I bought first. Yeah, it was really cool to keep this and keep it boxed and keep it in really good condition. In here, this is a blank DS case. I actually have Monster Rancher Advance. Yeah, that's Monster Rancher Advance 2 in there. I don't have Monster Rancher Advance 1 yet. I'm hoping to add that to the collection. Hoping to get a box for this one or just find it complete sooner or later. Moving on, we got our DS games. So this one here is that Rio de Carnaval. If you ever wonder where Rio from Warriors All-Stars came from, it came from this series of games, which is like a gambling thing. Words, they're tough sometimes. Again, is a weird Tecmo title. It's kind of like a detective virtual novel. So you actually hold your DS sideways. It's one of those games. It was actually kind of cool. Starting it off, I haven't actually beat it yet. And we have here Atelier Annie. This was a really cool thing to have in the collection. I think that's the only Atelier game on DS in North America, at least. Obviously, I have Dynasty Warriors DS. These two are really cool. These are from UFO. I guess they got the license for publishing these. But we have Monster Racer, which I originally thought was part of Monster Rancher, but I don't think it is. And then we have Monster Rancher DS, which I got as well from Geno Games for a really good deal there. Moving on, I'm going to skip over a couple of these, but this one right here, this is a display copy of Pokemon Conquest that was on display in EV Games, so it pays to know the people that work there. Yeah, that's really cool to have in the collection. And then, of course, we have an actual copy of Pokemon Conquest here. We have a second copy of Pokemon Conquest elsewhere because we have a Pokemon collection going as well. So we actually have two copies of this. Then in the 3DS collection, I do have Dynasty Warriors Versus. I don't have a Japanese 3DS, so I can't play this game. But 3DSs can play Japanese DS games. So I would be able to play this Rio de Carnaval. It looks like I have two copies of Fire Emblem Warriors, but one is actually the actual copy, like the retail copy, and the other is a display copy from Best Buy. Again, it pays to know people that work in these shops. And then we have like your usual 3DS affair. Hidden in here we have my only Genesis loose cartridge. So Tecmo Super NBA Basketball. Not really a big sports person, so you don't see too many sports games in our collection. But for Tecmo, obviously I have to buy it. Then I have a Japanese copy here of Romance of the Three Kingdoms 3. This actually has a map in it that I want to get framed. I think that would be really cool to put up. Like, whenever I get an office for my recording stuff, I'm going to be putting up a lot of these posters that I have for Koei Tecmo stuff. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, just expanding this collection and making it look even bigger and better. Here we have Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4 and Nobunaga's Ambition, Japanese PS1 games. Nanatsu no Hikan, which is a survival horror game from Koei. So, yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to play any of these games because I don't have a Japanese PS1 or PS2. So there's no way for me to currently play any of the Japanese games here. But for the PS1 collection, you saw Destrega earlier in the month. You saw some Monster Rancher. Unfortunately, my copy of Monster Rancher Card Battle doesn't work, so when I mentioned it in the video, I actually couldn't use any of the footage. Then we've got Sayuki, which you saw as well, Deception, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4 in English. The only Dreamcast Koei Tecmo title that I'm aware of, Dead or Alive 2. And then here as well we have all of my Vita games. The only real noteworthy ones, I believe, would be the Atelier games here, which, yeah, they're only really noteworthy because they were limited physical release. Everything else is pretty, you know, basic Vita collector's stuff. Then we have, this is actually a Wonder Swan cartridge. Wonder Swan was a was it Namco? Or no, it was Bandai. So technically Namco now, but they attempted to compete with the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. Didn't really work out too well, but I got Nobunaga's Ambition on the Wonder Swan, so that's pretty cool. And can I get this back in? Yes, I can. So over here we have some of these soundtracks that didn't come with collector's editions, which you see some of the collector's editions over here. I'll give a quick rundown. I have a sealed copy of Atelier Totori because I actually own this loose, or not loose, but like a normal complete copy on PS3, Atelier Sophie, the 2 Knights of Azure, the 2 Samurai Warriors 4, and Fire Emblem here. Everything except Totori is open. But over here we have a Dynasty Warriors 5 or Shinsangoku Musou 4 soundtrack, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4, and PTO 2. And then here, this is really cool. I don't know if I made a post on Instagram when I got these, but this right here is a promotional DVD for Tokobots, which you would have actually seen on the channel earlier. There was a Let's Play. Maybe I'll link to it if I can remember up in the iCard. This here has a demo. This has a demo of Gitaru Man on PS2, and it was part of the like legacy demos that they were putting out. So that was really cool to have in the collection. So let's put those back there, and let's get started with the PS2 collection. So over here we have the PS2 collection. It's just under the retro stuff and some of the DS games. You've probably seen me like move the camera down a little bit here and there, but for the most part there's nothing super noteworthy in here. I have a large collection of Japanese titles. I usually try to keep my Japanese titles first in the collection and like separate by release. So here's the Japanese, and down below is all the North American, and I have some European stuff after the North American stuff. So that's kind of how I sort my games, and then obviously alphabetical order. The Japanese titles are sorted alphabetically by their translated titles. Nothing really noteworthy here. I have a couple of their dating sim games. So like I'll just take the top one off because I don't feel like messing with any of that. So I think this is like Ruby Party is their subsidiary that makes these games. So I've got a couple of those. Down here I have all of the Dynasty Warriors games. I'm really only missing Dynasty Tactics and Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2. I don't think we got Gundam 1 on PS2 here in this, North America. My only PS2 Atelier game. Then there is Manichemia over here. I only have Monster Rancher 3 and Evo, as I said in my video on that. I've got a couple of the G1 and Gallop Racer games here. Missing Fatal Frame 2. So there's like a couple of PS2 games that I'm missing, but for the most part I have them all. There's a couple more down below, but we're going to move on to the PS4 games, which are right here in the center, because like the PS4 is their current most modern supporting console, so that's why I decided to put that centerpiece. Here we've got a couple of display copies that I got from Best Buy and EB Games. So I've got like the Attack on Titan 2, which I actually don't have a physical copy of. I got a review code during a time when I couldn't afford to buy it new, and I just haven't been able to find it in shops. I've got this one here is Dissidia, and that's an NHL sticker on the case, because I actually swapped this for an NHL case, because I literally bought NHL like 17 or 16 for $5 just to have the case. I've got a couple of boxes for display of like the little mini figurines. Some of these you'll see in the collection. This one back here for Dynasty Warriors 3, the Shahodun is actually broken, unfortunately, so I do need to buy a replacement one for that. So going through, you don't really see anything noteworthy here. Again, I think I'm missing 1 or 2 Atelier games, missing Attack on Titan 2, and I think that's about it. Like, there's a sealed copy of Nelk here, which I got the collector's edition. It's not up there because I have it down somewhere else. But yeah, Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Nobunaga's Ambition. I've got some sealed copies there, and then yeah. So I have Senran Kagura in here, and some people might be like, well, that's not made by Koei, but Ayane appears as a DLC character in this game. So the Koei collection is like, it has everything that Koei has been a part of in some way. It's not just the games that they create or produce. Like, this is literally anything to do with Koei. So after the PS4 games, we move over to the Xbox original and 360 games. So again, nothing super noteworthy from this collection. I've got 2 copies of Dynasty Warriors 4 here because the one copy that I was using to record kind of stopped working on the original Xbox. It seems to work well for the 360, probably because that just really needs to read the disc to know what game you're playing, but there's visual glitches and sometimes the save file doesn't keep. So yeah, I was able to use some of the Patreon or guild money for not only Dynasty Warriors 4 but also Dynasty Warriors 3. So both of those are coming to the channel for a Let's Play. I'm going to be trying my best to complete every single Dynasty Warriors game, getting every single item, every single weapon. So you're going to be seeing a lot of those games coming to the channel, and I hope you guys are excited for that. Up here, I do have some display copies of Attack on Titan 2 and Dynasty Warriors 9. The reason why these aren't in an Xbox One case is because they actually don't fit an Xbox One case. They fit a PS4 case, and I think EB Games has green PS4 cases just for the displays. So, unfortunately, they're not able to give me cases. They're only able to give me the sleeves, and yeah. So, they're here. They're in just whatever DVD cases I can put them in that, you know, kind of fits the Xbox theme. There is one thing that's noteworthy here is my 360 copy of Samurai Warriors 2 Extreme Legends. This one is actually a custom print, which maybe what I'll do, I'm going to leave it here for this video and just take it out, do some post. You're going to see some video right now of me showing it off, and yeah, essentially what I did is I created a custom cover, took out the PS2 template and added the 360 template so that, you know, it would fit in the collection, and I would have a case to show off the fact that I own Samurai Warriors 2 Extreme Legends on 360. Now, you might also see 2 Ninja Gaidens over, Ninja Gaiden 3s over here. I actually don't own Razor's Edge for 360, but I believe this one up here, the one that kind of has a longer template to it, that one is a display copy, again, from EB Games. So, let me see here, make sure. I do have a sealed copy of Warriors Orochi 1. That's my only sealed copy of a Warriors game that I think that's it. Yes, that's the only... Wait, no, I lied. I have done Warriors Orochi 4 on Xbox One, sealed. And we're going to get to that as well. So let's drop down from here and get to the PS3 games. Before I move on from the 360 titles, I wanted to show this op. The reason why you might not have seen Dynasty Warriors 7 in the collection is because I actually have a signed copy. It is framed. It's signed by Spike Spencer, who voiced Guan Suo both in Dynasty Warriors 7 and Dynasty Warriors 8. This is the only copy that I have autographed, though. We did also get a copy of Tales of Vesperia signed, as well as one of the BlazBlue games that he voiced in. So, this isn't the only autographed game I have, but it's the only autographed Koei game. So, just wanted to mention that before I moved on to the PS3 games. So here's the PS3 games. One thing you might notice is I, again, kind of sort these in a specific way. I have all of the European games down here, so I have Dynasty Warriors 7 Empires, Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, and One Piece Pirate Warriors, all PAL versions. I actually don't own a North American version of Gundam 3 yet. A friend of mine is going to be giving me one. We tend to just be like, hey, I'm looking at getting rid of these games. Do you want them before I sell them? And we'll just like swap games back and forth, which is really cool to have friends like that. You'll also notice that this copy of Mugen Souls Z that I have is in a Blu-ray case rather than a PS3 case. And that's because of the blue template on the spine here. I just wanted the case to kind of match, which is also why these earlier copies are in red cases, to kind of match the red spine on them. I'm missing 2 red cases, but here we also have the Japanese games. So I have the Samurai Warriors Pachinko, Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires, Strike Force, Samurai Warriors 3 Z, and Samurai Warriors 3 Empires. But other than that, nothing super noteworthy here. This is like just your generic stuff that you would kind of expect from a Koei Tecmo collection. Maybe mentioning that some of the NIS games like Last Rebellion, Hyperdimension Neptunia 1 and 2, Mugen Souls, Trinity Universe, and Mugen Souls Z, they were all published or distributed by Koei Tecmo, so that's why they're in this collection. Koei Tecmo's names are on like the copyright, so they have something to do with this. I have a custom-made case for Fatal Inertia EX. Maybe I'll just take this out in post and show you guys a little bit of that. I have 2 copies of Dynasty Warriors Strike Force, just in case a friend is like, hey, I'm willing to play this with you, and I own a PS3, because PS3s you don't actually have to have the PlayStation Plus in order to play online. And then I also have this. This will be easier for me to take out. I made a case for the alpha demo of Dead or Alive 5 that kind of came with Ninja Gaiden 3. So I got the collector's edition of Ninja Gaiden 3, and I created this custom case. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So going down from here, I'm gonna have to go around, actually, un momento. And we're back. So this is where my Xbox One, Genesis, Sega Saturn, and Switch collection is. Like, this is where most of these smaller parts of the collection are. And there's other smaller parts that are in other cubbies over that way, so we'll get to those, but here we have all of the Xbox One titles. The only ones that I'm missing are Attack on Titan 2 and Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires. So, I have 2 copies of Dynasty Warriors 9, so my wife and I can play online if we feel like it. I have the sealed copy of Warriors Orochi 4 here, a sealed copy of Dead or Alive 5 and 6. Both of those are sealed still. Everything else is open. Nothing super noteworthy about the Genesis stuff. I have a couple of custom cases here for these Genesis titles because they were loose. I had enough Universal game cases to case these guys up. And then this one is complete in box, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4 for the Sega Saturn. Not 100% sure if there are other North American Sega Saturn games. I can't remember if Dead or Alive 1 came out on Sega Saturn or not. But moving over, we have the Nelk Collector's Edition that I mentioned before. We have the stand of Nelk here, a couple more boxes as well. But if we remove Nelk just for now, you'll see all of my Switch games, which you're going to see a couple of doubles in here because these are, again, this one I believe is the retail copy. This one here is the display case from Best Buy. So any of the doubles that you see with the red spine, they're from Best Buy. And any of these white ones, these are from EB Games. So I actually don't own Atelier Lydia and Suel, don't own Attack on Titan 2, but Fire Emblem Warriors, Knights of Azure 2, I do own physical copies of those. Didn't get a Warriors Orochi 4 case for the Switch, unfortunately, but maybe they'll still have one in their stock. The copy of Atelier Lulua that I bought retail for the Switch is still sealed. Haven't opened that one up just because I'm playing it on PS4. I'm kind of bought this for my wife to play just because she doesn't play a whole lot of PS4 and she's more likely to play the Switch just because A, it's on the go, B, she has a side or a dock on her side of the living room. So that's pretty much it for this stuff. So let's go over to the other side of the cubbies. Alright, so over here, this is kind of a mishmash of stuff. I have my PSP games, I've got the leftover PS2 games that didn't fit in the PS2 collection up here. I've got some other Sega games, I've got my retro games that I have fitted in my Universal game cases, and then I have my Steelbook of Dead or Alive 6 here. The main reason why I'm not using this in the collection is because it doesn't look good. That's one thing that I have a pet peeve for, is putting steelbook cases in with my actual games. I try to keep them separate or like just in their own area. Segregation. So again, there's a few cool things in this side of the collection. I've got a European copy of Samurai Warrior Samurai Warrior State of War for PSP. This was actually bought from EB Games here, which I was surprised to see them selling something imported. I have a copy of Dynasty Warriors 4 here, the Greatest Hits version. I don't have it up here with the black label because, again, segregation. This has a red spine. I have it in a red case to match it, and I just kind of separate that kind of stuff. I have two custom cases that are empty of Dynasty Warriors 5 and 5 Extreme Legends. I did not actually make these. These were created by somebody on VGBoxArt.com, I think is the website I used. Don't quote me on that. I hope that's the correct one, but I've got them in blue cases, which the PAL region came in blue cases, so that's kind of why these are down here. They might be empty, but they're really cool cases. I'll put them on screen as I'm talking over here. But down below that, this is another empty case. This is Romance of the Three Kingdoms 3. This is a custom case that I did make, and it is in a blue case that's kind of similar to the Sega CD coloring. I'll show you the custom case in post as well. This one was actually, it used to house the Japanese copy of Sangoku Shi 3. I decided to take it out of this because I want my games to be in their original cases, but at one point I wanted everything CD to be in a DVD size case, just for storage. And then this is also empty, this Dreamcast case of Dead or Alive 2. Again, mostly here for display purposes because I really like the Dreamcast. This is also in an orange case. Again, I'll show you it in post, but I'm really into getting my cases to kind of match the console that they're for. The only thing is, like, the PAL region always came in a blue case, so currently these are cased in blue DVD cases, but that might change in the future, depending on how many PAL games I end up owning later on down the road. So as far as the retro stuff, this case of Ninja Gaiden 2 is empty because I've got the actual box for it. This case for Brandish is empty because I don't actually own Brandish. Everything else actually has the game inside of it, and I forget what this one is. Oh, this is PTO. I haven't printed off a label for it just yet, but yeah, I need to get one more case for that Tecmo sports game. I think it's like NBA basketball. Anyways, the other thing here is a Famicom version of Genghis Khan. This is complete. I got this from a thrift store for like $10, so that was really cool. Yeah, so that's it for this cubby. Yeah, nothing really super special other than like the custom cases and the Genghis Khan here. So here underneath all of this mishmash of stuff, we kind of have the modern Nintendo stuff. We've got some PC and DVDs here and some books. We also have some Dissidia figurines here. I've bought 4 of these boxes. Only one of them has been the actual character. Everything else has been these blue, like, molds. And I don't like that. They're apparently more rare than these guys, but I've only got the blue ones. But as far as the games go, I do have 2 copies of Rygar. One is sealed. This is obviously the one that you would have seen on the channel in the review. Nothing super big here. A European copy of Champion Jockey, G1 Jockey, and Gallop Racer. This one I actually won from a giveaway from the European Twitter for Koei Tecmo, back when Chin was the community manager, so that was really cool. Spray is one of the Tecmo games that I decided not to make a video on because, like, there's not really much to go on for Spray, but maybe I'll do a one-off Let's Play of it sometime in the future if you guys really want to see that. Over here, I have a custom case for Dynasty Warriors Online. I took part in the beta, so I just wanted something to have in the collection. Nothing super special about this one. I just, like, this was one of my first cases that I made. I should really get back into making more game cases, especially now that I'm getting a little bit more used to graphic design stuff. But we have here the amazing DVD copy of Dead or Alive, the movie. I don't know what to say about this, other than, yeah, it's not good. We have a couple of those DVD commercials here. So, Cruz del Sur Online. Yeah. So I've got a couple of those commercial DVDs here. I've actually put a couple of others, like I've got a Dynasty Warriors 3 Extreme Legends commercial disc, and it's actually in the case here with the game. I've been trying to do that if I get these random discs that have to do with the games, like soundtracks and stuff, and I don't have a case for them. I put them in with the actual game itself. So I've got that. I forget which one this one is. Let's just take a look and see. This one is Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11, and this dating sim thing. Yeah, I don't read Japanese, so let's just put that back. Then we also have volumes 1, 2, and 3 of La Corda d'Oro, which is an anime / dating sim game. I've got one of the games somewhere in there with the Japanese stuff. This is actually made by Koei. Again, this is that Ruby Party company. And then I have my copies of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Volume 1 and 2 here. You can see Volume 1 is very well worn. You can probably tell which is my favorite part of the Three Kingdoms. But both are here just because, you know, this was one of the reasons why I fell in love with Koei Tecmo, was because of Dynasty Warriors, which is based on the Three Kingdoms. If I end up running out of room, I will put these over with the actual books. But yeah, that's it for the games. And there's one other cubby, which I will cover now. So this is the last cubby. Yeah, this has a lot of the collector's editions. It's got most of my figurines in here. It's got the steelbook of Pirate Warriors 3. It's got a pixel art thing of Shahadun from Dynasty Warriors Advance. This was custom made and, like, I really love that. I've got my amiibo of, oh my god, I forget her name. Put it on screen. Yeah. We've got a couple of books here. I've got the strategy guide for Kessin. I've got the Hyrule Warriors and Hyrule Warriors Legends strategy guides and art books. This is a Nintendo Power where Ninja Gaiden Dragon's Sword for the DS was on the cover. And then we have the art book for Dynasty Warriors 5. So this is really cool because it shows a few of the concept designs for characters. It doesn't show a whole lot of concept designs, which I was actually kind of disappointed in, but it did give you a lot of artwork for the game. So this was really cool for me to get. I think I paid like $5-10 for it on eBay. But other than that, this here and this here might actually have more than just the Dragon Quest Heroes and Ninja Gaiden 3 collector stuff inside of it, just because I kind of use them as storage as well. But other than that, that's it. So let's just go to the outro. And that's my collection. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Special thanks goes out to the guild who support this channel via Patreon. I really want to give them a shout out, so thank you so much, Angelo Solis, Ryan Scully, Ibrahim, and Lighty the Noob. I hope I pronounced all of your names correctly. If you'd like to join them at the end of every single video, you can check out the link that you see on screen right now or down in the description below. And thank you so much again for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for making this year's Musou May so amazing. And I will see you all, not only down in the comments, but in June with a new schedule.